Let's hear your audio.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. This looks exciting. We got a weapon here on the screen, so that have my attention. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to start the duck when I say go. On your mark, get set, go.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to have a little fun with this last presentation, so I took one of my success stories and kind of made it into a parody of the American television show called 24, where Jack Bauer is a terrorist-fighting government agent. I always thought it'd be kind of funny if Jack Bauer was also a DB2 DBA in his free time. So this is my parody of episode 1. It's 12 a.m. in data ops. Alarms are going off. Alarms indicate that several DB2 table spaces are in an offline state. Ops is logged into the database server. With their sysmon authority, they're able to view the state of table spaces by running the list table spaces command. They see that 4 table spaces are in a state of 0x80. They can run the DB2 TBST command to see that that state equals roll forward pending. Chloe, despite her vast technical knowledge, does not have authority to troubleshoot any further, so she calls out Jack Bauer, DB2 DBA. At 12:02, Jack's returning home from an undisclosed location in an unmarked limo with an unknown companion. He answers his phone and Chloe tells him the situation. Jack logs into the database server and first looks at the last 30 minutes of the diagnostic log with the DB2 diag-h30m command. The summary of what he sees is OS errors are logged, stored procedures failed, several table spaces go offline, DB2 gets an error checking containers on a file system. DB2 then starts a crash recovery a few seconds later, indicating that the disk is back online. Most table spaces get online in a normal state and 4 are left in a roll forward pending state. So Jack calls back into ops. He tells Chloe there must have been a problem on the SAN. The disks were briefly offline, back online, but some table spaces are left in a roll forward pending state. Jack's going to attempt to roll forward the offline table spaces to the end of logs to sync everything back up. Jack attempts the roll forward command to the end of logs and stop using the table space option, but the command fails with the error bus error. Jack attempts several other commands. df-k bus error, bus error. I couldn't resist. This is my favorite bus error movie. 12:05, Chloe tells Jack bus error means there's a massive drive failure on the system. Jack agrees and according to operating procedure fails the database over to the HADR standby system with the takeover command by force. The takeover completes successfully. Jack does a quick health check on the standby server, sees that the same table spaces are offline, so he runs the same table space roll forward command as he did before. This time the roll forward command completes successfully. It completed successfully because the table space containers and mount points are all online on the standby machine. So at 12:07, Chloe and her team test all the application functionality against the standby database. The alternate client reroute function in DB2 is pointing all apps to the new server except for one very important application. Chloe tells Jack that the application, the Warhead Tracking System application, cannot connect. We need to run the WTS report for the president by 1 a.m. That's in 53 minutes. It could be a firewall issue, so Chloe attempts to call the network on-call contact. She's getting no response. Chloe decides that the network guy would take too long anyway. She tells Jack that she can set up a test box on the same network subnet as the WTS application in 15 minutes. That leaves Jack about 30 minutes to restore a copy of the database and get HADR running on a third DR server. At 12:10, Jack makes it back to his office. He starts backing up configurations and he needs to create an identical DB2 instance on Chloe's test machine. He uses the DB2 CFEXP command to export all the instance and registry configuration settings. He also starts an online backup of the production database using online and compress options. At 12:30, the new server is ready. Chloe copies the backup image to the new server while Jack configures the new instance using the DB2 CFIMP command to import the configuration and registry settings. He starts the database restore and uses the replace history options. Jack thinks of something. Chloe, how much memory is on the new server? Chloe responds, 8 gigabytes, Jack. The production server uses 16 gigabytes of memory. This isn't going to work, says Jack. Chloe stays calm and as usual has the right answer. She calmly explains that once the restore finishes, set the DB2 override BPF registry setting to override the buffer pool sizes from the source server and the database will work on the smaller server. On the new DR server, Jack runs the following commands. He stops and starts the database. At 12:58, the restore is finished and the configuration changes are made. Jack updates the database configuration settings for the HADR settings so that the new system and the old system can talk to each other. He then starts HADR on the standby, then on the primary. Then he can monitor HADR using the DB2 PD command. Once the two DBs are in a pure state, Jack can run the takeover command on the newly built DR server. On the standby, he runs the DB2 takeover HADR on database command. So the new DR server is now the primary database server, and Chloe tests the WTS application. Chloe confirms that the WTS app is available, and the President's report can now execute. Jack says, great job setting up the new DR server. Now please have a car. Come take me to the DR project manager's house. Jack, it's 1 a.m. He has to be sleeping. Get me a car. So at 1 o'clock, Jack interrogates the disaster recovery project manager regarding the WTS application failure on the standby HADR database. So here's Jack's report. At 12, the primary production server had multiple drive failures. 12:05, they failed over operations to the standby. 12:10, they realized an important application could not connect to the standby, so they had to resort to setting up a third DR server. They failed over DB operations to the newly built server, then paid a visit to the DR project manager. Think of Jack Bauer next time you're having a bad day. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. That was a lot of creativity. I think you were talking almost as fast as I read the show disclaimers.
I had to get through it. Thanks. I had a lot of fun with that. I hope everyone got a smile out of it.
Great. Let me go to our judges. Jules, what do you think?
Well, I got more than a smile out of it. That was great. There was two uniques there for me. First of all, that's the first time I've seen a realistic plot in an episode of 24, so congratulations on that. And you actually managed to make the whole job being a DBA look sexy and glamorous, which is also a unique. So congratulations on the presentation style. Technical content also really good. There's a couple of things there I simply didn't know about. The DB2 override BPF is a really nice one, which I wasn't aware of. But I made a careful note of that because you never know what's going to come in handy in the future. Nice presentation. Well done.
Thank you.
How about that? You taught an IBM DB2 Gold consultant a new trick. What do you think about those old dogs? Klaus, you're next. What do you think?
My comment would be, woo, Brian, what did you do? It's very good presentation. You made it fun, and I agree with Jules. It's now every DBA can think of his job as being a hero. So it's realistic, and with a lot of humor. Thank you.
Thanks.
Martin.
I thought it was great. I was disappointed that nobody got shot. I thought everybody gets shot when they watch that show. But beyond that, it was great. The DB2 override BPF thing, actually I ran into that a few years ago where somebody had set it to 1,000, and we were wondering why nothing performed very well. So
yeah.
It's a double-edged sword setting that particular registry variable, but very entertaining, very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, you know what to do next, right?
Yes, sir.
Rally the voters.
I'll do my best.
Rally the voters. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with the DB2 community. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That was round one. A commercial break from today's show sponsor, DBI Software, offering smarter tools for smarter people. Visit us at dbisoftware.com. If this works today, and you never know with a live demo, I'm going to start up Brother Panther. I've got some complaints that from a user that things are running kind of slow. So Brother Panther will start up, and when it starts up, we'll see a summary of the performance of all the databases that we're working with. And the complaint that was received was from this production database here, so I'm going to show the users. And here are the users in my database, and it was Melanie that called me, and Melanie has consumed 26% of the CPU time across all of my users in the workloads on this database. So I'm going to next discover what SQL Melanie was running. And I can see here that there's a statement that's consumed 34% of the CPU, 33% of the rows read, and that looks like a pretty expensive statement. So I'm gonna tune that up next. I'm gonna explain it. We'll pop up and explain here. Oh, got a couple of table scans with a hash join. That looks expensive. I'm going to pass this over to the design advisor because I'm in a hurry and people are screaming at me. And just click run. So if I had the timer going here, what I've just done in about 90 seconds is I've got a solution in hand that will give us a 99.97% cost improvement for this query of Melanie's that was consuming about a third of the CPU and a third of the I/O. And we did that in about 5 mouse clicks. And what I want you to take away is DBI makes application tuning very easy, super fast, and you can see who your users are and what they are doing. And likewise, we can do an analysis on applications. And here's a summary of the applications that have been running. My custom report application has been very expensive, and we can see the statements that application was running. So easy as that, a few mouse clicks. We're going to turn you into the Jack Bauer of DB2 performance heroism. So there we go. End of commercial. Let's get back to our contestants.